She said, "I'm blocking you for a week so you learn to appreciate me." I said, "Take a month." I used that week to move all her stuff into a storage unit. When she finally texted, "Do you miss me?" I sent her the code to the unit and blocked her forever. I, 27 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 25, for about a year and a half. We've been living together in my apartment for the past 8 months. Things were good at first, but lately, she'd been pulling these manipulation games that I was getting tired of. Last Tuesday, we had an argument. Honestly, can't even remember what it was about. Something minor. I think I forgot to text her back for 2 hours while I was in a meeting. She escalated it immediately. Started yelling about how I never prioritize her and how she's always the one making effort. Standard stuff. I tried to explain I was in a work meeting, phone was on silent. "You always have an excuse," she shouted. "It's not an excuse, it's literally what happened." "You know what? I'm done. I'm blocking you for a week. Maybe then you'll learn to appreciate what you have." I just stared at her. "What?" "You heard me. I'm blocking your number. You won't be able to contact me for 7 days. Use that time to think about how you treat me." She was dead serious. Standing there with her phone out, finger hovering over the block button like it was some kind of power move, something in me just snapped. Not angry, just done. "Make it a month," I said calmly. She blinked. "What? A week isn't enough. Make it a full month. I need that much time to really reflect." Her face went confused. This wasn't the script. I was supposed to beg her not to block me, promise to do better, grovel a little. Fine, a month then. Maybe you'll learn your lesson." "Sounds good." She blocked me right there, grabbed her purse, said she was staying at her friend's place for a few days to let me think about things, and left. The door closed. I stood there for maybe 30 seconds. Then I got to work. See, here's the thing. The apartment? Mine. Lease in my name only. She'd moved in with me, not the other way around. Everything, furniture, TV, kitchen stuff, all mine. She'd brought some of her things, but nothing major. I grabbed my phone and called a storage facility I'd seen advertised. Got a climate-controlled 5x10 unit. $89 a month, first month free with a promo code. Perfect. Next, I started packing. All her clothes from my closet and dresser, her toiletries from the bathroom, her books, decorations, the throw pillows she'd insisted on buying. That weird diffuser thing she loved, everything. Took me about 6 hours, working through the night. Had everything boxed up by 3 a.m. Thursday morning, I rented a U-Haul van, $39 for 4 hours. Loaded everything up, drove to the storage unit, unloaded it all. Organized it neatly. I'm not a monster. Put all the clothes on the left, boxes of books and personal items stacked on the right, left a path down the middle so she could access everything. By 2 p.m. Thursday, my apartment was completely clear of her stuff. Changed my locks that afternoon, $120 for a locksmith, but worth the peace of mind. She still had a key and I wasn't taking chances. Friday, I did something that felt necessary. Went to my bank, opened a new checking account, transferred my direct deposit. She didn't have access to my accounts, but she knew my main account number, had used it to send me money via Venmo before. Better safe than sorry. The weekend was quiet, weirdly peaceful. Cleaned the apartment top to bottom, rearranged furniture, made it mine again. Her friend texted me Saturday. "Hey, she says you're ignoring her texts." Not cool. I didn't respond. The friend didn't know she'd blocked me. Wasn't my job to explain. Monday rolled around. Week 1 of the month-long lesson completed. I felt good. Really good. The apartment was calm, no random accusations, no manipulation games, no walking on eggshells. By the end of week 2, I realized I didn't want her to come back. This wasn't a break. This was me being free. Week 3, I started seeing someone new. Not seriously, just coffee with a woman from work. Casual. But it felt natural. Easy. No drama. Day 28, technically 3 days before the month was up, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Do you miss me?" I knew who it was immediately. She'd unblocked me early. Couldn't help herself. I replied with 2 things. First, the address of the storage facility. Second, the access code to her unit. 4782. Then I typed, "Your stuff is in Unit 37, paid through the end of next month. After that, it's your responsibility. We're done." Blocked her number. Blocked her on everything. Instagram, Snapchat, all of it. My phone started ringing 3 minutes later. Different number. Didn't answer. Voicemail notification. Didn't listen. Texts from unknown numbers started flooding in. Are you serious right now? This is insane. You can't just throw me out. We need to talk about this. Blocked each number as they came in. That was 5 days ago. Haven't heard from her since yesterday, but I've heard from other people. Her friends, her sister. All with the same message. I'm a terrible person. I kicked her out with no warning. I'm heartless. None of them know she initiated the block. None of them know she'd been doing manipulative stuff like this for months. Silent treatments, threats to leave, dramatic gestures. I'm not defending myself to them. Not my circus, not my monkeys anymore. My apartment is peaceful. I'm sleeping better. The woman from work, we're getting coffee again tomorrow. I don't feel guilty. Maybe I should, but I don't. She wanted to play games, she found out. Update 1. 2 weeks later. The fallout has been predictable but annoying. Her friends have been relentless. Got added to a group chat I didn't ask to be in. 5 of her girlfriends all texting at once. You need to apologize. She's devastated. How could you be so cruel? I responded once. She blocked me for a month to teach me a lesson. I used that time to move on. Her choice, her consequences. That's not what happened. She was trying to make you appreciate her. You were supposed to fight for the relationship. I left the group chat. Blocked all 5 numbers. Her sister showed up at my apartment last week. Wednesday afternoon, I was working from home when the doorbell rang. Opened the door to find her standing there looking angry. We need to talk about what you did to my sister. No, we don't. You kicked her out with no warning. She had to scramble to find a place to stay. She left on her own, said she was staying with a friend. I just made sure she had a place for her stuff. You changed the locks. My apartment, my locks. She lived there. Not on the lease, not paying rent. She was a guest who wore out her welcome. Her face went red. You're heartless. She loved you. She loved controlling me. There's a difference. We're done here. I closed the door. She stood outside for another 5 minutes, knocking and yelling about how I'd pay for this. Security from the building eventually asked her to leave. My ex tried a different approach. Got one of her guy friends to reach out. Someone I'd actually liked. Hey man, can we grab a beer? Want to talk about what happened? I agreed. Figured I owed him a conversation since he'd always been decent to me. Met up at a bar Thursday night. He got right to it. She's saying you blindsided her? That one day everything was fine. Next day, all her stuff was gone. That's not how it happened. I laid out the whole story. The blocking, the teach you a lesson game, the month timeline she set. How I just took her at her word and moved on. He was quiet for a minute. She blocked you first? Yep. For a month? That was her demand. I just agreed to it. She's not telling people that part. Of course not. She's playing victim. He sighed. Look, I get it, but did you have to put all her stuff in storage? That's pretty cold. What should I have done? Left it piled in my apartment for a month waiting for her to maybe come back? She made it clear she was leaving. I made it clear she could take her time figuring out next steps. She wants you back. She's willing to forgive you. I actually laughed. Forgive me? For what? Respecting her decision to block me for a month? For being petty about it. I wasn't petty, I was practical. And no, I don't want her back. Tell her we're done, for real. He tried to argue more, but I shut it down. Paid for my beer and left. Got a text from her later that night. New number, of course. I know I messed up, but we can fix this. I love you. Please just talk to me. Didn't respond. Just blocked the number. The woman from work. We've been on 3 dates now. She's great, normal, doesn't play mind games or test me. When I told her the whole story, kept it vague, she said, "Good for you for having boundaries." That's when I knew I'd made the right choice. My ex's manipulation was so normalized, I'd stopped seeing it as manipulation. The blocking thing wasn't new. She'd done it before. Blocked me for a day or two, then unblocked me expecting me to be desperate and apologetic. This time I just didn't play. Meanwhile, I found out through mutual friends that she's been staying with her parents. They're apparently not thrilled. She's been telling them I kicked her out without warning, that I'm abusive and controlling. One of those friends reached out to warn me. Her dad's talking about coming to have a word with you. Just a heads up. Great, looking forward to that conversation. Update 2, 1 month later. Her father did show up. Last Tuesday, 6 p.m. I was making dinner when the doorbell rang. Older guy, maybe 60, looking stern. You the one dating my daughter? Dated. Past tense. And you are? Her father. We need to talk about how you treated her. I could have closed the door. Should have, probably. But I was tired of this narrative. Come in. Let's talk. He seemed surprised but followed me inside. I gestured to the couch. Want to hear my side? I asked. I know what happened. You kicked her out, changed the locks, put her stuff in storage like she was trash. Did she tell you why? Because you're controlling. I pulled out my phone, showed him screenshots. The text where she said she was blocking me for a week to teach me a lesson. The one where I said, make it a month. The one where she said, fine, maybe you'll learn. He read them, looked up at me. She blocked you first, yep, for a month. That was her idea. He sat back. She said you were ignoring her, that she had to block you to get your attention. She lied. He was quiet for a long moment. She's done this before. To her last boyfriend, and the one before that. The blocking thing, the manipulation, the tests, her mother and we've tried to talk to her about it. Well, she found someone who doesn't play along. He looked around the apartment. This is yours, the lease? All mine. She moved in 8 months ago, never paid rent, never on the lease, guessed who overstayed. She's telling everyone you kicked her out with no warning. I gave her a month, her idea. I just took it seriously. He rubbed his face. I'm sorry. For coming here like this. For what she's put you through. Appreciate that. She's still at our house. Keep saying you'll come around, that you'll apologize and beg her to come back. Not happening. I didn't think so. He stood up. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. She needs to learn that actions have consequences. He left. I stood there kind of stunned. Did not expect that outcome. But it wasn't over. 2 days later, my ex showed up at my workplace. Don't know how she got past security. I was in a meeting when my boss's assistant knocked on the conference room door. Sorry to interrupt, but there's someone here insisting she needs to speak with you. She's causing a scene. I excused myself, walked to the lobby. There she was, crying, makeup running. Please, we need to talk. No, we don't. You need to leave. I made a mistake. I was stupid. I love you. People were staring. Security was already walking over. You need to leave. Now, or I'm calling the police for trespassing. You can't just throw away what we had. You threw it away when you blocked me to play mind games. I'm done. Leave. Security escorted her out. She was screaming the whole way, calling me names, saying I'd regret this, that I was making a huge mistake. My boss called me into his office an hour later. Want to explain what just happened? I told him everything. The relationship, the blocking, the storage unit, the harassment. He listened. Then said, if she comes back, we'll file a restraining order, but you need to handle this. It's affecting your work environment. Understood. I'll take care of it. I called a lawyer that afternoon. Explained the situation, the repeated contact through different numbers, the showing up at my workplace, the harassment from her friends and family. He drafted a cease and desist letter. Cost me $350. Sent it certified mail to her parents' address. It laid out everything, the timeline of events, her initial blocking, my decision to end the relationship, and a clear directive. No further contact through any means or legal action would follow. Her sister called me from yet another new number. A cease and desist? Are you kidding me? She showed up at my workplace. She's harassing me through multiple phone numbers. This ends now. She's heartbroken. She's manipulative, and I'm done being her target. Tell her if she contacts me again, I'm filing for a restraining order. You're insane. Tell her. I hung up. The woman from work and I made it official last week. We're actually dating now. She knows the whole messy story. Thinks it's wild but respects how I handled it. Most guys would have caved after the first crying session, she said. I'm not most guys. Clearly. Haven't heard from my ex in 5 days. Longest stretch of silence since this started. Either the cease and desist worked, or she's planning something bigger. Don't care which. I'm moving forward. Update 3, final. It's been 2 months since the storage unit text. Time for the final update because this needs to end. The cease and desist worked. Mostly. My ex stopped contacting me directly, but she found other ways to be a nuisance. She disputed the storage unit charges, claimed she never authorized them, that I had illegally stored her property without permission. The storage company called me confused. I sent them copies of our text exchange. Proof she'd blocked me first, proof I'd told her where her stuff was, proof I'd paid for 2 months up front. They sided with me. Told her the unit was hers to keep or clear out, but the charges were valid. After the prepaid period ended, if she didn't pay, they'd auction the contents per their standard policy. She let it lapse, didn't pay a single month after my prepaid period ended. Last week, I got a call from the storage facility. Your ex-girlfriend's unit is scheduled for auction next month. Thought you should know in case there's anything of yours in there. Nothing of mine. Do what you need to do. 2 days ago, her friend, the same one who'd harassed me before, sent a text. You're really going to let all her stuff get sold? Not my stuff. Not my problem. She can't afford storage right now. She's between jobs. She had 2 months free to figure it out. She chose not to. You're such a jerk. Block that number too. The girlfriend, the woman from work, moved in last month. Officially. Split the rent 50-50, both names on the new lease we signed. It's different, equal, healthy. She asked me once if I felt bad about how things ended with my ex. No, she wanted to manipulate me into begging for her back. Instead, I showed her actions have consequences. That's not something to feel bad about. But isn't it kind of harsh, the storage unit thing? What should I have done? Let her stuff sit in my apartment for months while she played games? I gave her a clean break. She chose not to take it seriously. She thought about it. Fair point. My ex's father called one more time, 2 weeks ago. I wanted to apologize again for my daughter's behavior. We've tried to get her into therapy, but she refuses, says everyone else is the problem. That's not surprising. She's telling people you stole from her, that you sold her belongings. I didn't sell anything. I put it in storage and gave her the code. What she did after that was her choice. I know, I believe you, but I wanted to warn you. She's talking about taking you to small claims court. For what? Emotional distress, property damage, I don't know. She's grasping at straws. Let her try. I have everything documented. She never filed anything. All talk as expected. The mutual friend who'd warned me about her dad reached out again last week. Hey man, just wanted to say, I heard the full story from multiple people now. You were right to end it. She's been doing this for years apparently. Testing guys, playing mind games, then crying victim when they don't put up with it. Yeah, I figured. She's dating someone new already. Some guy she met at a bar. Telling him all about her abusive ex, who threw her out. Good luck to him. You're not worried she's trashing your reputation? People who know me know the truth. People who don't know me, their opinion doesn't matter. That's where I'm at now. Living with someone who treats me like an equal. Working a job I enjoy. No drama, no manipulation, no games. My ex can tell whatever story she wants. I have the texts, the timeline, the documented harassment. If anyone who actually matters asks, I can prove what happened. The storage unit auction is scheduled for next week. Part of me wonders if she'll show up at the last minute, pay the back fees, reclaim her stuff. Probably not. That would require acknowledging reality. More likely she'll let it all get sold, then blame me for stealing her belongings, even though I gave her every opportunity to retrieve them. Not my problem anymore. Someone asked me if I'd do anything differently if I could go back. Honestly, no. The moment she said, I'm blocking you to teach you a lesson, she showed me exactly who she was. Someone who thought relationships were about power and control, not partnership. I just took her seriously, used the time she gave me to make a clean break. She expected me to come crawling back, to beg, to prove my devotion by groveling for another chance. Instead, I moved on, found someone better, built something healthier. That's the whole story. Guy gets blocked by manipulative girlfriend, uses the time to move out her stuff and move on with his life. No dramatic confrontation, no revenge plot, just consequences. She played a stupid game, won a stupid prize.